Oh, yeah. Goody, 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 goody. It's Friday Eve. Where's Adam? So Eve's all alone, I guess, right? Looking
Oh,
for an apple. By the way, if an apple will keep the doctor away, what makes it the forbidden fruit?
I,
Doctors must have declared apples as forbidden fruit because they don't want you to keep them away, right?
Yeah.
It's not very profitable when they do that.
Well, and obviously we all know that God told Adam not to eat it, and Eve.
just like a man. Don't do it. Does it anyway.
Okay.
What?
Nothing.
My cat walked across this board, and I see a lot of things that she muted overnight. So I'm just like, what the world? That was weird.
Well, I thought you were purposely muting Chris.
No,
I was expecting to be next.
No,
At least
no.
he's wearing the right sweatshirt today.
I wore every sweatshirt I've worn this week is the right shirt.
I can't read what it is.
Tar Heels.
Oh,
Tar.
Heels.
Thank you.
Hills, yeah. Chapel Hill.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Tar Heel.
Like our late senator said about building a zoo in North Carolina. We don't need a zoo. Just put a fence around Chapel Hill. Welcome
Oh,
one
you're
and
gonna get a
all
lot of
to
comments.
Thursday. In case
Here it
your
comes.
calendar is not working, 2 weeks from today is Christmas Day. 14 days to swarm the stores, making sure everyone you bump into has a gift from you. What a tradition. Be truthful today, and you don't have to tell us any real details, but I got some questions for you. Have you ever saved gifts that you receive at some time in the past, either for birthdays or Christmas or whatever, and then pass them along later on because it's
No.
something you really didn't want?
We got into this horrible discussion before.
Yeah, I know. Be honest. Ring us up if you did. A friend of mine from
Regift.
decades ago and I we had a thing going. He and I
Mhm.
we exchanged Christmas cards every year.
Nice.
Yeah.
There were only two. We saved the ones that we got each year, and we just crossed out the name from that year and wrote a new name in, ours, and
That's pretty
sent
cool.
it back. And I mean, it was maybe about 10 years worth.
I want to know who's mailing cards this year with postage rates so high now. So far, I've gotten.
Well,
Two cards.
The cost of cards themselves.
I know it's
number one.
ridiculous.
You can't go. I found one somewhere or another recently. It was like $2, and I said, "I need a dozen of those."
Go to the dollar store, yes, to get them.
Yeah, but hell, they're $2 at the dollar store.
But you know, just like you bring that up, you bring up a good point. You're in the store and you go, I need to pick up a sympathy card. They're like $6.95 now.
Well, that'll be cheap now for the future.
I'm like, this is
Well,
ridiculous.
to answer your question, Kathy, she had them done in July.
Right.
What do you mean? Had them done? She finished everything?
Oh yeah.
What's wrong with her?
That's just Kathy. She had them, but she waited until the Christmas postage stamps came out. Then she put the postage on them, and there they went.
I know I need to go buy some before they go up again.
How dare they?
Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown. Welcome to Live and Local Real Talk. And you are?
I'm NASCAR Chris Marks.
Wait a minute. I'm a NASCAR Barbie.
He's a goat.
I have a reason to say what I said.
Oh, okay. Good morning. I'm Lee
He's just an old
Barrows.
goat, though.
Don't be taking
He's got
my
Tar
fame.
Heel.
Go ahead.
Okay, now I'm not going to take your fame. The second off of my bucket list, thanks to Kathy.
The second.
March
No.
7th. Yes, I am. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Chris,
Yes, ma'am.
don't even tell me.
200 miles an hour.
No.
Yep.
Oh, man, I want to go.
You going?
He's going to go on one of those drives,
Yep.
one of those NASCAR.
Ride-alongs.
Yeah, ride along.
You know, we had a governor that did that one year.
Yeah.
He drove the car there. Did you know that? Governor Easley, and he wrecked it. He wrecked the car.
I don't get to drive.
I think he's the reason for
My
that.
only thing is I want to pick the driver, and I know I won't be able to get the driver I want. So
I'm not going to get a driver.
you're not going to drive it.
No, but Kathy said, well, which driver are you getting? I said, whichever one works there. You're not going to get a NASCAR.
Oh, I
driver.
know. Sometimes
Yeah.
I do have drivers.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But-
when I was in Uptown Charlotte a while back, I went to the
Is that off
museum,
Sharon Avenue?
the NASCAR museum, and they have cars lined up. They're not the full cars, but they had the race simulator in each
Uh-huh.
car. And I stood in line an extra long time just so I could get the car I wanted, because I kept getting back in line to make sure I would be next in line to get the number 48 car. So I got in that. And of course, it starts and you're driving.
Then it
When
broke
I
down.
got done, my arms felt like they were broken because I was holding the steering wheel so tight. I had tensed up so tight driving this simulated race. I won't tell you how many times I flipped and wrecked, but good Lord.
I just overdrive it, huh?
I want to do the NASCAR experience.
Well, I'll be riding in the number 9.
This is a birthday gift, huh? How about that?
I think we should go to Daytona in
Is
February.
that Chase Elliott's car, number 9?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Chris says she sent out 22 Christmas cards so far and bought a dozen for $1.50 at Dollar Tree. She bought a dozen.
Got 12 of them for $1.50 or $1.50 each.
Dollar. And she said, and she bought a dozen for $1.50 at Dollar Tree.
Each, right?
She doesn't say each.
What you do is you get them at Amazon, and they cost pennies. They're different type of cards, all different styles and everything. Look at them
I remember back in the day, I was a door-to-door salesman for a
They
while.
have Facebook
Did you know that? As a kid, I got into greeting cards, selling greeting cards, going door to door.
Oh, wait, I did
Have you
get
ever
3
heard of that?
cards.
No.
Yeah,
Got one
they had-
from you.
Of course, from Kathy, yeah.
Yes, that's right. I have 3 now.
but
A
they-
pack of 12 for $1.50, she said.
wow. Postage 78 cents.
It costs $30 to mail them.
Oh man, it's cheaper to deliver. No, but yeah, back in the day, they hired people, kids. You'd sign on, and they'd ship you a certain number of cards, greeting cards of one kind or another. You could do the Christmas cards if you just wanted that season, or you could do just regular greeting cards, and you sold a box of them or 2 boxes or whatever you could sucker anybody into buying.
Do you remember back in the day when you used to get a box of cards in the mail, like from the Veterans Administration, wanting you to send them money, but they've sent you a dozen cards,
Yep.
and how you let all those pile up? And no, I'm not going to use those because it's kind of cheap. Nowadays, I wish I had them,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Did you ever get any surveys mailed to you, and then they had return postage in the
Yes.
envelopes? I saved the postage.
Usually they use stamps, those pre-inked stamps.
Well,
It's
they do
kind of
that
hard
today,
to cut
but
those off and
back
tape
in
them
the
to
day-
an
No, it's
envelope.
not.
Now, Rafer, we didn't let those go through.
Yeah, you did. You did a few. Yeah, but when I was a kid, I did not know the difference. I would see the ads in the backs of magazines and stuff like that, because I subscribed to things like Skin Diver magazine, and they had general
Skin
merchandise.
diver.
That's what it used to be. There used to be a magazine, 35 cents an issue.
Chris already knew.
It's
I'm like, what?
it's scuba divers used to call themselves skin divers.
Okay.
Skin divers are different than scuba divers, but there were no such things as snorkelers back in the day.
Silver used
They
to be
didn't
single.
do that, but they had in the backs of these magazines like that I subscribed to. They had little classifieds, right?
Right.
Most of it was for like scuba equipment or whatever,
Right.
but
Right.
they have general merchandise.
Uh-huh.
And there were always rubber stamps advertised. I said, what? No, can I get a rubber stamp and just stamp the envelopes with them? Is that what this is? I did not know what a rubber stamp was. I was a little kid. It's time to understand what a rubber stamp that you could order was. You don't know what it is?
Isn't that this?
Yeah, you could buy it with whatever lettering you want on it, generally your name and return address and everything. But I thought it was like something you could bypass the post office and slip some, just stamp your envelope with this
No,
rubber.
those stamps,
No, I
stampers are under lock and key, believe me.
So, whatever. Anyway, I thought
People used to come to me on the day after taxes were due and like, can you just turn the date back one day and stamp this for me? I'm like, no.
well, you do know that there's few post offices that remain open until after midnight.
We used to remain open
Uh-huh.
till midnight.
But there were those who were standing in line at the Azalea station on Oleander
I was
Drive.
manager at Azalea Station
Were
for
ya?
a very short time
Uh-huh.
because I said, no, I'm going back.
Yeah, that April 15th deadline would roll around. There'd be
Right.
cars out the parking lot. The people out the parking lot down the street coming because the main post office was not open at night.
Right.
That one stayed open on that evening.
The main
tax
one here, we
evening.
stayed open a couple years.
But
did
it was kind of like wow to see them. And yes, if they got there at 12:30, 1 o'clock, theirs was stamped for midnight or before.
Well, we would generally at midnight make sure that we went out and swept all the outside boxes and the inside boxes and took everything out. And we allowed people to come in up to midnight. After that, it was like doors locked. Look, you've had 65 days to do this, and we're staying open late just to accommodate you. And we're doing what we can to help you.
You
But
didn't feel bad for your fellow man.
what?
You didn't feel bad for your fellow man. I mean, they busted their butt to get there. Last minute doing.
But look how much time they had to get there.
No, they didn't.
They had
don't start at
365
No,
days to get there.
First of all, they don't get their tax information until it could be the 31st of January. That's all required by
Right.
them.
Oh,
So then they've
yes.
got February,
February,
March, and half of April.
and they can do an extension if they don't have all their stuff.
They don't think about that.
Well, see, we can't be responsible for that.
Well, you should be. You're public servants, aren't you?
Oh my goodness.
There are a few folks out there we haven't heard from of late. Where are you? We missed all y'all. If you're one of those and you used up your one phone call, we'll understand. Otherwise, hit us up and bring us up to speed on what you've been up to, Theo. Steve, are you with Theo somewhere? Did y'all go to Greece? I'm just
I
questioning.
talked to
I'm
Steve
curious.
the other day.
Was he in
Yesterday.
Greece?
No, but he sent the information about the cows. Remember, we were talking about meat, and
That
there
was
wasn't
yesterday. Yeah.
as many cows. I thought it was the day before. There weren't as many cows, and well, this is what he said.
What?
This was Tuesday. According to the Department of Agriculture, the total amount of cattle in the United States is at its lowest it's been in 70 years. According to statistics, 107,000 cattle farms in the U.S. have shut down in the last 5 years. Because we were
Who's counting cows is what I want to know.
We were talking about
why
the
are we
prices of
paying them?
meat.
Yeah.
and then you got talking
I don't
about
think
how a
there's a
lot of it
shortage of meat.
came from overseas. No, we have lost a lot
Mm-hmm.
of farmers over the years.
Okay, I got another question for you. Of all the gifts you've received over the years for Christmas, what was your most memorable one? So, guys out there, it's your turn. Our number is 910-333-0139. What's your most memorable Christmas gift? Something that will stick in your mind, either
I can't
hilarious,
say I'll cry again.
weird, sentimental,
I get sentimental.
cool. What are you looking at?
Shockwave.
Yeah.
He's outside the door now, peeking in
Well,
like a criminal.
The door's
or something.
open. He can come in.
I know, but he's
Come on
acting
in, buddy.
weird. Come here.
But what was your most memorable Christmas gift? The one thing that you look back on either as a kid or through today or whatever, something that was sentimental, something that was really cool, something you really wanted, but nobody ever knew it, but somebody apparently did. Everybody's got some kind of a story.
Charlie McCarthy, dummy.
You got one of those too?
When I was a kid, yeah.
I wanted one.
I
Yeah.
tried to be the Jeff Dunham, but it didn't work.
Hartfield's had a doll like that up there in their window for years, and we tried to get it, and I wouldn't give it up. I wanted it so bad.
And now it's everything Kathy gets me because it's more than I ask for and more than I need.
Cool.
So.
Smart answer.
You'll
Honest.
get a home cooked meal tonight.
I don't know, an honest answer. I do want to say though, real quick, I want to thank you too.
I didn't do it.
Yes, you did.
Plead the fifth. I was never even there.
For all the support that you have given the numerous charities to Onslow County. Obviously, Wreaths Across America, which is very important to me and Kathy. To the Knights of
To all of
Columbus.
us,
To all of us,
by
yeah.
the way.
Yes.
To the Knights of Columbus to Crime Stoppers. We have our annual luncheon
that's
today.
kind of personal to me. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Dancing with the Stars, gosh, what you've done for Dancing with the Stars.
I didn't do a rerun. That's one of the things I didn't.
Well, you didn't dance.
Not this time around.
Okay.
That's why I contributed a lot by not.
But the many charities that you've the soup they renamed the soup or the dinner. What did they rename it? You don't like the name now.
Oh, you're talking about the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Royce
Simeon
It was
message. I can't ever get.
Men Who Cook, and now it's
Joe Johnslow. Is it Johnslow?
Johnslow. Royce will call us and tell us.
Joe Royce, help me. I
Yeah.
can't, see, I can't even remember what
It's
the name
people who
is.
cook, and Salvation Army is
Yeah.
the benefactor.
Well, hopefully this coming year, the next cooking contest,
Only
we
few
have a
months
special
away.
guest that
Yeah.
we've been talking to
Yeah.
He
about
swears he's going to do it.
coming from Raleigh to cook.
But I just wanted to, our listeners know, they may not call here and let you know. I want to let you know how much it means to me that the two of you have been so community minded through the years, through this show of getting guests on. Let's talk now, don't forget about the politicians, keeping people informed
Try
about on who our elected officials could be, would be, will be, are. Y'all just have done a tremendous job.
Well, you
for the
know what?
community.
I think by having people come in, which we're going to start having some soon as the
Holidays.
as soon as December 19th comes and goes and it closes out for filing, we'll start working on bringing each one of these candidates in, because I think it's important that we help put out there who these people are, what they have to offer. Yeah, a little bit of information about them, because how else you going to know?
Well, the program started out on radio,
Mhm.
and it's now on YouTube and Facebook,
Right.
and it's the only local that people can get local information, but still get people who represent us. Mike Easley, saw him on TV yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Gosh,
He's come out
where's
of the
he
closet
been?
now?
Is he still alive? I mean, I don't know. He's ugly, but Mike
no, I'm
Easley.
sorry, our insurance commissioner.
Oh,
Mike-
Mike Causey.
Mike Causey. I'm sorry. Mike Causey was on television.
Swinging with you.
He was talking about insurance and how
Yes.
there's a program that people don't understand, that they're turned down by their insurance company. They have a right to file for
The state has one.
Yeah, and that 50% of the time you'll win. If you're denied drugs that you need, you'll win if you go,
Right,
because it's an
right.
independent doctor. You don't know,
Yeah.
you never know. You'll never know it's Rayford that's actually filling out the paperwork
Right.
to approve it. Our congressman, you've had him on here. Our
He's
senators,
calling this morning.
just what you two have done to keep the public informed.
Yeah, we want y'all
We've
to
gotten
be
in trouble a
informed.
couple times, but it's been
Who
worth it.
has? We've created trouble.
We created
That's
it.
intentional. With malice
But, you know,
aforethought in
it's
some cases.
okay. It's okay.
Now, as far as the politicos are concerned, those who are running for office, we think you need to know as much about them as we can get out of them.
Absolutely.
And if we can't get something out of them, then you be the judge about whether they're credible or not.
Mhm.
If we ask them questions and they dodge, dance, or do whatever,
There's
that's up
usually a
to you.
story there, right?
That's up to you. It may be that it's personal, that they don't want to talk about it. I mean, just because I was arrested for murder 3 times and I managed to get away with it,
Yeah.
that's none of your business, right? Wrong.
Yeah.
And you might want to. And we give them not, but we're not going to. We don't bombard them. We had one person who was lying to us
Yeah, we knew
right
that.
up front.
He
And
knew we knew.
And, and the problem is when you come in here, I'm not the first time that I've been lied to.
Yeah.
And I know when people are lying. Okay, and if it's a blatant, outright, stupid act to deceive the people out here, then I may call you out on it. If it's irrelevant and you stand no snowball's chance of being elected anyway, I may let you slide because you're just a wannabe.
Yeah.
I don't care
Well-
about and those people I generally don't even care about because they're not going to get any votes anyway. I know when they're lying. No, you believe me, I know when they're lying.
Speaking of politics, you know what time Murphy's calling in?
7:30.
Okay, good. All right. I'm scheduling our other caller.
But we've got, I've sat across tables from all sorts of people who like to lie, radio tables and other tables. And it's not unusual for people to want to lie to you.
No.
I find it so funny on TV when the police out there saying, it's illegal to lie to a police officer, to a federal agent. You can't lie to a federal agent. Yeah, you can. Because if you're a bad guy, who cares? If you're lying to cover up something, then anything you say is going to be used against you anyway. So why not lie about it? And it's like when I hate to go down on law enforcement because I'm not. But when you start booking somebody for an offense, you got them for murder, and you're going to charge them with littering on the sidewalk too. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Why waste your time, mine, in the courts for something like that? I will say you will have to understand that when a police officer stops a car because he's weaving back and forth in the lane or outside the lanes or whatever,
Cause.
and you get there and the guy's drunk, you better charge him with that, because if you find 4 pounds of cocaine in his car, you had no reason to stop him for searching for those drugs unless you arrest him for that DWI. Yeah.
Unless you ask him and he says you can search.
No, but you had to stop him for a reason.
Yeah, we're swerving.
And you get away. They will get away with it. So young police officers they've had to learn that one the hard way.
I know we got to do weather. Let me just wrap up real quick. So again, thank you both for everything you've done through the years to help support the many charities that you've helped support. And last kudos goes to the Jacksonville Senior High School fans. Yes. The reason I say that is this. The last 3 games, the pool team, swim team, had 2 raffles.
Yes.
Then this past Saturday night, the wrestling team had it.
Yes.
They raised over $400 in each of those 50-50s. The fans gave the money back.
That's right.
To the program.
So
how awesome is that, and how awesome is the Booster Club?
They are awesome.
Here's the way that 50-50 goes. All right, they collect $800, and 50-50 means you get half of it if your ticket is drawn. The fans, some of them gave it all back. Some of them gave everything except what it cost them for those 23 tickets that they bought for $20 or something. They kept that out, which is great. I don't have a problem with that. And I don't have a problem with them keeping all of it. That's what it was there for. But they give it back. It's a donation. So they double their money. They double what they were trying to get.
Well,
so that's even better.
I will say that Dancing Stars of Onslow County, the last couple of years that I've attended, when they had their 50-50 drawing, the person who won donates the money right back.
That's standard procedure.
You know, so people are good-hearted in nature.
They are. Yeah. And the people we got here in Onslow County are really good-hearted. We don't have to depend upon the government to keep us.
One thing I love about
to be nice.
Onslow County is when something tragic happens, this whole county comes together.
And we've got Salvation Army. They got the bell ringers out there. Do not walk in a door or out a door that the bell ringer is not there, so you just trying to dodge them. If you don't have the money, you'll have it next time.
As soon as I walked out the door of Walmart last week after I went back in to pay for the rest of my stuff, I came out and I said, oh, let me check my wallet. And thankfully, I had some money in my wallet.
So many of us pay. Everybody used to pay with checks, right? I used to pay with check card now. They call it debit cards, whatever. Right. Pay with a debit card. And it says, do you want any more money? Yeah, I want $1 million, but you don't have that, so I'll take $10.
Right.
Then I got some money to give away.
That's right.
So you can do that on that little thing.
Yeah, I try to keep some cash. It's not much. Believe me, it's not worth robbing me for.
Got some short-lived good news in today's marine forecast.
Oh, good.
High pressure building in today and tomorrow will bring improved marine conditions. And that doesn't mean the Marine Corps is going to get any better. They can't get any better. They're as good as they can be, right?
Yep.
Stand up for the Marines, y'all. But for the maritime Marines, enjoy it while you can. Today, offshore, northwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 this afternoon, gusts up to 30. Seas running 5 to 7 feet. Near shore, they're 4 to 6, subsiding to 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon. Friday, westerly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet, 6 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop. And on Saturday, northwesterly winds 10 to 15, becoming westerly 5 to 10 in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon.
Whew, okay. Today, sunny with a high near 49. Northwest wind 8 to 13 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Tonight, increasing clouds with a low around 29. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 55. Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 33. And Saturday looks to be a gorgeous day, sunny with a high near 59. But get ready, because come Sunday, we have
Just
a little
tell me
bit
that-
of rain coming through.
And
And
it'll
the
be rain.
temperatures are going to
Gonna
drop.
be ice.
With Sunday night, mostly clear with a low around 17. Right now, they're predicting the rain coming in Sunday will be before 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Of course,
But
everything
the
could
ground's
change.
going to be wet, and then you're going to be driving on
Look,
ice.
look, Monday, right now, they're predicting a high of only 39 daytime high. So,
Well, the good news is the wreath will have been placed Saturday on the good day.
Yes,
This
I'm
this
excited.
It's going to
Saturday.
be a pretty day.
It's going to be a beautiful day, a beautiful ceremony at Onslow Memorial Park, and
Mhm.
then at 12 o'clock at Coastal Carolina
Coastal
Bates,
Carolina.
Coastal Carolina State Veterans Cemetery.
Yes.
So we hope that everybody will show up at Onslow, then go over to the Coastal
That'll be
State
nice.
Veterans
Make a day
Cemetery.
of it.
Yeah, a lot of veterans to be remembered.
Ice.
Ice, baby.
Going to be
Minnesota.
flying around the friendly skies in their own airplanes. The Department of Homeland Security, they're buying some 737s. They're going to
Ooh.
use them for deportations. What better purpose in the world? Oh, and they're not going to be landing anywhere, but they're going to use them for deport. No, I'm kidding. Don't get your drawers on an uproar. I think it's pretty cool. They're buying what? I forgot how many, 3 or something. That they're going to be flying those who are deported. They're going to fly them themselves. It's cheaper to do it that way, and you don't have to worry about flying them among other people or chartering a plane or a service or something, anything like that. You got a captive audience. What are they going to do? Take over? I don't think so.
Wow. Wow.
I think it's cool. I think it's a cool thing to be doing. 579,000 people so far this year have been deported. Now, that's not all. There are over 1 million that have self-deported.
Yeah.
They say, I may as well do it the easy way
Yeah.
because it's easier for me to get aboard that airplane or a boat or whatever however I can get out of here than it is for them to put me in chains and send me back.
Well, I'm not a big fan of Gabe Gutierrez. He's a reporter from the White House, usually on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, did he get put in his place last night riding with ICE agents in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Oh yeah. They had raided a home looking for a specific person. They did not find that person, but they found a lot of other people who
Mhm.
had sexually assaulted minors,
Uh-huh.
drug trafficking,
Uh-huh.
among other things. He's riding in the back of the car and asked the ICE agent, he goes, so do you think there's a problem with you going after somebody high up in their crime list, something like that, and arresting just somebody else? He goes, no, our job is to take illegal aliens and send them back to where they came. Boom.
Let me give you just a really low, a secret squirrel type of stuff. All right, the drug guys.
I love Secret Squirrel.
You get a warrant to go search a house for drugs because your intel is that there's a house that dealing drugs out of a home, right?
Mhm.
You get informed inside, or you've made buys from there. So you go to the house to make the arrest or do a search. You got a search warrant. Here we go. Do you think you should pass up some guns that are there that you always run serial numbers on, and you find that they're stolen? Or how about that piano that they stole from one of the big piano stores? They got a Steinway. How about the expensive violins that they might
That
have.
is our congressman
may have.
calling.
That they may have in there. Do you think that the cops are going to pass that up? No. Why would they pass up illegal aliens? Not because they happen to be the ones that they were looking for, but spoils of the war. That's the way it is.
Yeah. They
Good
did their
morning,
jobs.
doctor. How are you? The doctor is now
Good
in the
morning.
house.
Congressman. Oh,
all today.
there you go.
Hey,
We're
hey,
doing
hey.
fine. If I get the right buttons pushed here, you're doing fine. How you doing, Dr. Murphy?
I am blessed. I am blessed.
Good. You don't
Actually,
sound like
it's cold as hell down up here as it is down there. So.
well, up there it's might be colder, but down here we got right now we're kicking about 35 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, I guess that's why they call it winter.
It's
Yeah,
cold.
corn.
Congressman, yeah, I'm sorry. It's cold up there temperature wise, but how's everything else? Is the heat on for everything else?
Oh, the heat is always on. And, we have a couple ne'er-do-wells who've decided that they want to crash and burn everything down. This is what some people love to do. It's all about self-attention. And, I don't have to point them out. People know who they are. We've got one gal who I think is having some real, let's just say I hope she gets help one day. From another state. And, it just does nothing to help the cause. It does nothing help to defeat the socialistic, liberal, progressive policies of the left. It's just about, garnering attention for oneself. And it's sad. It's just pretty pitiful, to be honest with you. But, I think our speaker really does, gosh, I would not want that job. I would not want that job.
Absolutely not.
Herding cats with a 2-vote majority, and then Thomas Massey votes against everything. I don't even know why he's here. He just literally votes against everything. So at least put some thought into it. Yes, no, whatever. But it's a challenge, and I wouldn't want Mike Johnson's job. That said, I think he's really navigating and threading this needle extremely well.
I
agree.
didn't think a lot of him in the beginning, but I've come to like what he's doing. And you're right, he is herding cats, and I've got 2 cats, and just herding those 2 is a chore.
Oh, I like Mike Johnson. I liked him from the beginning.
I don't
Better than McCarthy.
Well, I won't comment on that, but I'll just say this way. I think Mike has done a job that just really is going to go down as one of the best in history as far as being able to handle things like that as a speaker. So, I think it's really, really a hard job, but I think he's done a good job at it.
Yeah. Okay, you guys have got passed a $900 billion defense spending bill for the budget, right?
We did. We did. And
there's some opposition.
A lot of great.
Yeah, opposition from some Republicans and some Democrats, of course. And I guess that don't like the war that's going on with Ukraine and Russia. And are we supposed to cut out the funds for Ukraine, or what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to ignore this thing, or what?
You see, this is the typical issue with what we have with the Democratic Party and Liberal Party. Mm-hmm. I fully and firmly believe what happened in Afghanistan, the debacle, which will go down as the greatest blunder by an American president in history,
absolutely
led to the war in Ukraine. Mm-hmm. I have no doubt about that in my mind. It left such a vacuum, and it said basically we're going to take off. And this was, Biden did it against his generals, who, if they had any muster, they would have resigned in protest. But it left such a vacuum. It emboldened Vladimir Putin. I mean, he has as much said this. He has as much said this for him to invade Ukraine. And now Putin is in such a position where he doesn't care if he sends many more million people into war to kill. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. And Trump is literally trying to give him a reason to put his arms down, put the arms down, stop the war. I don't think leaving troops or taking troops out of Europe is a good idea, and I think we pushed back against that. And I think our NDAA is a good bill. It's not a perfect bill. A lot of wins for Cherry Point. A lot of wins for Camp Lejeune. And so we have to keep fighting. This is a horrible, horrible world that we're living in. A very, very different war than was fought 40 years ago. It was fought with howitzers and tanks, and now it's being fought with drones and cyber attacks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a much, much different type of conflict, and Ukraine has shown that. I mean, they're taking out $100 million airplanes, et cetera, in Russia with $1,500 drones. So it's much, much different war.
Technical war.
Yeah.
The only thing about the our I don't want to call it occupation, but our placement of 75,000 or more troops in Europe and around the area, cool. That's good. It's it puts us in a position to react rapidly without having to fly 3,000 miles just to get there first for anything that comes up. But it would be nice for these countries that where we are, that maybe because we're helping them, we're keeping off the wolves, keeping the doors away, or the wolves away from their doors. Do they ever pay us for any of that?
Yes, they do. And
Okay,
this is
good.
one thing, this thing that, the president has demanded, and Biden was too weak and Obama was way too weak to demand from those other countries. Look, we're providing security. Ante up, start paying up. He's done that with the UN. He's done that with NATO. Germany has increased their defense budget tremendously. The other countries have increased their defense budget tremendously. No, it's they're paying their, I wouldn't say quote fair share, but they're paying a lot more than what they used to. They really are, and so it's only through the power of this president that this is happening.
Yeah, and the only thing
Putin hates that.
The only thing I got to say about that before I open the door for these other two guys to bombard you, the only thing I got to say about that is, we've only got 2 more years with this president because the last year is going to be a lame duck. So there's 2 years of activity. What's going to happen after his lame duck year is over?
You mean who's the next president?
Who's going to keep this work up? Because we know that if the wrong people get in there, whether it's a Democrat or a lame duck or a lame brain Republican, that they're going to undo so much of this work. Right?
Well, that's the risk of democracy. That's the risk of it every time. And I think the president's put us on a very, very good glide path. The good thing is the Republicans have a very good bench, very, very good bench. Obviously, Vice President Vance is up there. Rubio is there. Youngkin is up there. There are a lot of great individuals that can step up and fill a void. Is it different? There's been no president like Trump, and there will never be another president like Trump. But we've got a good bench. I'm very optimistic and bullish on our future.
All right. Speaking of being bullish, congratulations. Because of yesterday's news, the Fed dropped interest rates and the stock market just shot up yesterday. Thank you, Congressman.
Yeah, well, I didn't do it, but thank you. I take credit. I can't take credit for that. But it was a long time overdue. Jerome Powell was always about 6 months behind the scene, and to his own admission, when the inflationary, remember Yellen said it was just transitory inflation. And the Democrats are screaming about affordability. It's just so hypocritical, so hypocritical. But during the 4 years, they went on their spending spree, causing the inflation crisis. And they expect us, and maybe Trump overpromised for sure, they expect us to cure it in a day. Well, inflation's down to, around 2%, a little bit more than 2%. They're blaming the tariffs. The tariffs are not causing this inflationary stuff. There is a component of that. But you don't change inflation in a day, and you can't change so many things in a day. It's going to be this time next year that will be very, very interesting to see economically wise, because we did the reconciliation package, the working families tax cuts, also known as the big beautiful bill, that did so much to help local small businesses, bigger businesses, individuals. Individuals will see a much higher refund this year than they did last year. For just having a lot more money to spend or to invest or in their companies to grow, to employ more people, the economy fundamentally will be markedly improved. What we did, and I was literally in the room working on the tax package for hours upon hours upon hours because I'm on Ways and Means, was fundamental and restorative for the future. We gave permanency to tax issues, and really, really, really was a good thing. Was it perfect? No. Did I agree with 100% of it? No. I agreed with about 90%, 5% I was plus minus, and about 5% I think we could have done better with. I think this time next year, or even towards the summertime, the economy really will be in a much, much better place. Where, Trump is backing off on some of the tariffs, which you knew was going to happen. That's part of his deal negotiating, and there have been some exemptions and some other things. So I think we're in a much, much better place. Look, Scott Bassett, the Secretary of the Treasury, brilliant guy. You can make comments about the different choices of secretaries, this, that, and the other stuff. He by far was the best choice, or one of the best choices.
Okay, good morning, Greg. This is Lee. I have two things I want to bring. Hi. Two things I want to bring up right now. Michigan Democratic House Representative Shri Thanador, is that how you say it, introduced articles of impeachment against Pete Hegseth, and now Representative Haley Stevens has formally introduced articles of impeachment against RFK Jr. So do the Democrats plan on spending the next 6 months sitting in committees and arguing this stupidity rather than working on the budget and doing other things that are more important?
It keeps them off the streets.
Well, fortunately, we're in the majority, so we control the agenda. And, good Lord. And here, I'm going to be very objective about this. We had some knuckleheads when we were in the minority, all they did was file articles of impeachment. It's just a sad and attention-getting measure, and sadly enough, with so much media up here, these darlings, there's one, and I'll say Republican woman, who, if she's not in the news every 3 days, creates a controversy so she can be in the news. So these are just distractions. They're not going to go anywhere. It's just ridiculous. But I wish we could just get off the fodder. I wish the media would be about 1/100th the presence that it is up here, so we could actually do the work and not have people more concerned about making a clip when they're speaking on the committee or something else like that for campaign purposes. It's really just it's very disheartening.
So, yeah. Congressman, this is Chris, and I'll continue to refer to you as Congressman because I haven't gotten that relationship yet with.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I know you do. No,
it is all good. You, Chris, feel free to call me.
I've known you for a long time.
So today, I know that there's going to be some discussion about the Obamacare Act, and I don't see anything coming out of that except the fact that there's a lot of fraud going on. And
yeah, you think?
Yeah, I know. And is anything?
So let me explain. The whole thing about the Obamacare issue. Obamacare was written by insurance companies for insurance companies. If you look at what has happened in insurance company profits since Obamacare came in, they have earned over $380 billion in profits, just in profits, not their salaries, their $100 million salaries to their executives or anything else to insurance companies. It's been in profits. This was an insurance company joy. It was a glorious dream of insurance companies. And what happened is, during, quote, the American Rescue Plan, which Pelosi just loves to put things as titles that have nothing to do with it, they added more money into the system. Guess what? Insurance company stocks went up. Same thing with the, quote, enhanced COVID era, which was supposed to be temporary. They added more money into the system. We know that anywhere from 6 to 10 million individuals are fraudulently enrolled in the Obamacare exchange who literally have checks going straight from the Treasury to insurance company pockets. Never, ever filed a claim, never did any of these things. And so, in fact, the GAO, the nonpartisan government accounting office, did a study where they put up a bunch of false accounts and made applications for Obamacare. 22 out of 25 were accepted. Totally false accounts. that go in, no income verification, none of these other things that go in. So it is rife with fraud. And so now these subsidies, these insurance company subsidies are going down and everybody's premiums going up. They're not related. The primary reason insurance company premiums are going up, the primary reason, not the only reason, but the primary reason is insurance company profits have plummeted since Republicans came in office. And they're doing this to bolster their own profits. Go in and look. The people will go in and do a screenshot of United Healthcare's stock prices over the last several years, and then look at what's happened to it since Republicans came in office. And you'll see a plummet of their stock prices. So what do they have to do? They have to crank up premiums to maintain their profit status. I'm at the point where I think insurance companies should not be for-profit in this country. I think they should be non-profit. We should get them out of the market and some other things, because they are just literally causing the bankruptcy of so many people. Yes, we do have costs of health care that have gone up. It does cost a lot more for drugs. We're living a lot longer. People would have perished from a disease 30 years ago, and now there's, sometimes multi-million-dollar treatment that keeps them alive. Yes, there are a lot more expensive things, but the primary driver of higher costs in this country is the consolidation that has been caused by Obamacare. Period. End. Stop.
Thank you for that
you have
explanation.
insurance companies that own these things called pharmacy benefit managers. You guys get calls from CVS and all the things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They own the pharmacies. They own the physicians in some instances. It's ridiculous. And that's been the primary driver of increased costs of healthcare in the country.
Well, you need a piece of brown legislation up there somehow to stop all of these people from calling me, trying to sell me now burial insurance, now that the December 7th deadline for Social Security or social dividends are gone away, Medicare. I can't change anything now. Mm-hmm. So now I was getting 4 and 5 calls a day from people that were recorded messages. Calls. So they stopped now. But now, the next day, Monday, I started getting calls from people who want to bury me. Literally. Yeah. Seriously.
Burial insurance.
Good God. I just got insurance, so I'm not going to go anywhere. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Well, what a crazy world we live in. What a crazy world we live in. But, so be it. So the whole thing about insurance company premiums causing because Republicans causing them to be inflated is an absolute lie that Democrats continue to do. The reason why this is happening is because the Obamacare is blowing up. It was a horrible, horrible, horrible policy, and John Kane just madder than hell at him. I've gotten madder and madder and madder as time goes by that he put the thumbs down, and it wasn't for any other reason but he hated Trump. And he, singularly, and, thank him for his service to the country without a doubt.
Yes.
But we could have changed fundamentally what happened. There's so many things we can do to actually lower the cost of care, not just have taxpayer money continue to fund a poorly operating system. But again, Democrats created a problem, just like they did in Afghanistan, which caused Ukraine. They created a problem with Obamacare, and all they're doing is point bad money after bad policy.
Congressman, if I could, before Rayford asks you a question, I just want to say thank you, one, for making yourself available to Live and Local Real Talk, because the listeners really get a lot of what you tell us, and also for your town halls that you do.
Oh, yes.
Those are absolutely wonderful, and I enjoy being on them.
Well, we're going to do a bunch more next year, and I really enjoy them because it gives a way to reach out to a lot of individuals. Sadly enough, I love to meet with people if they're respectful, but shown some real disrespect, and which just makes it challenging. A lot of security concerns, death threats, and all these other things in today's world. Just no thanks. It's people, and good Lord, we had people in Pitt County the other day protesting the day after Thanksgiving. They were protesting Black Friday.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, good Lord, get a life.
That's a bumper sticker for us.
Yeah.
Dr. Burgess says, good Lord, get a life.
Literally, it is just unconscionable. Did we protest and do all this screaming, wearing rubber suits and everything when Biden was in office. No,
Yeah.
it's just literally, it's just no. So but I appreciate that. I'm readily available. If people want to talk, look, we get hundreds of letters every week. My staff helps compile answers. I edit every single one personally. I do it personally. And so, that's what a lot of the things I do on weekends or Saturday nights and stuff. And so, I want to make sure that folks know they can contact me and get a response.
If you're ever cutting on me in the OR at any time in the future, please don't edit any of those letters while you're doing it.
No.
I'd have 100% of your attention.
I promise I won't. But no, if people ask hard questions, that's okay. I'm not afraid of hard questions.
Oh, good.
I'm going to give them back the truth. And we may agree, we may not agree.
I think you do very well with some of the trolls that you have
Yes.
because you could post.
Well, I don't look at the social media. Sadly enough, when I was early in my career, I did.
Yes.
But I just, my staff does that, and it gives us a platform for, I think we have probably 20 regulars that I think their entire day sits around seeing what we're putting out on social media. It kind of cracks me up every so often. If I look, it's the same name.
Right. One who is running against you, says he's filing to run against you. No matter, you could just, your post hits and within 30 seconds, he's got some kind of comment.
Well, that young fella needs help. Yeah. That young fella needs help. And I'll just leave it that way. So.
Yeah. Well, one more thing I wanted to ask you before you go, before Rayford takes over, is the North Carolina Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee here is trying to say that the 3rd District could be facing a major change in the 2026 midterm elections. Do you think by the redistrict map that we've got now, how everything has shifted, do you feel like there's going to be fears with you running for re-election?
Oh, absolutely. The map that the Senate created made the 3rd District a lot weaker. Mm-hmm. And this is where Onslow County really needs to come out. And so, Onslow County is the county that's going to win or lose the election for us.
Well,
so,
come on down.
Well, you've always done well in Onslow County, so we're going to keep
we
on.
just need to make sure that people are not, that they get out to vote, that they're, they don't just take it for granted, because this is not, I got weakened tremendously. And I'll just put it this way, this is not who I am. I prefer the title. Its titles have to be of doctor rather than congressman. But I'm willing to serve and eager to serve. And if people want me to continue to do it, they're going to have to show up at the ballot box.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Yeah, they're going to come out and, spend a lot of money making me try to look like Satan or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And lie back and forth. This is just what they do.
Well, you're not saying
and
that.
I'll have to raise a lot of money and spend a lot of money. And so, it is what it is. It's the game of politics.
Yes,
but I'm not going to change who I am. I'm not going to change what I do. That's not who I am. And so, I leave it up to the voters. If they want me to continue the mission, I'm happy to do it. But it's up to them for me to do it.
Well, come on down sometime, and we'll let you entertain us for the entire 2 hours one day.
Yeah.
I think we
Okay.
should go to
All right.
D.C. one day, and we'll just do the show from his office.
I can't go to D.C.
We can do that too.
Why?
They don't like me there.
Rayford, we'll put you in a costume.
I could go to Caracas better.
No, we'll go to D.C. one
They
day.
don't let me there
We'll
either.
use his office. We'll
Well,
set
yeah.
up there.
We'll work it out one way or the other.
Yes, sir, we will.
All right. We do appreciate you coming on every month, and you don't have to wait for the designated day. If something's popping, just start calling. You've got numbers. Just call us. You can get through to me on cell phone
Sounds good.
anytime.
Yes.
Well, we got a lot of big wins for Onslow County, for Camp Lejeune, working hard on our veteran issues every day. Work hard on veteran issues, which is so critical for
It is.
those in Onslow County and surrounding counties. And that's I didn't have to be on Veterans Affairs. I actually had to get a waiver to be on Veterans Affairs, but I did it because it's important for our district.
Thank
So,
you.
Yes,
got a
thank
big
you.
veterans district.
All right, guys.
Thing. Thank you, Doctor.
Have a
Thank you.
Merry
Have
Christmas.
a wonderful Christmas, and we'll see you, if not before it, next year.
All right. Well, God bless. Have a happy, healthy, holy holiday. Okay?
Yes,
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Dr. Greg Murphy, 3rd District Congressman, representing this whole 3rd District, which is changing.
Yes.
Which is about the 3rd time in the last 10 years or so.
They did weaken it quite a
God.
bit by taking out the counties they took out. And like he said, it is going to be up to Onslow now
But,
to
the thing is,
really follow through.
it may have done that, but one of his strongest, if not his strongest counties, is Onslow, has been, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
always
And
has been,
here's the
yes.
situation there. We have gained in population. Now, it's up to you guys out there who go out and get people to vote. All I can do is encourage them. You tell them how you would like them to register to vote. I just want you to
Right.
register to vote, and I want to see you at the polls.
Right.
That's a me thing, because I'm that guy that doesn't have a party. I don't like parties. I got to bring something if I go to a party, and I don't want to go to a party. But-
you did quite well last week.
I
You
did.
bought 2 dozen of those good cupcakes.
Yeah, I did.
Buttercream frosting.
No, they were good too.
I brought a cake, and let me tell you what,
Oh, that was a good piece of cake.
it was a good cake. I
Yeah,
took some home. When I went to order it, she goes, "What kind of frosting you have?" And I said, "If you ever think that I would want the no, we want buttercream. We want the
That works.
extra
Yep.
sweet, sugary buttercream."
I want to buzz on the way home.
And I told her no balloons. No balloons.
We reserve those for other parties.
Yeah, no balloons.
Then we start popping the balloons.
Well, I told you the story about the cake I got for a senator one time, and they put balloons on it, and
Got too close to the fire, did you?
I started crying. I can't give him that.
Who would have ever thought that this country, the United States of America, and Venezuela would be at war?
This whole thing is crazy. Yes.
Why would we even want to waste ammo on the communist government there? One bullet will take care of that problem. You can bet that if some country were to seize one of our ships, that we'd certainly consider that an act of war. But wait, they did, and we didn't. North Korea boarded one of our warships, took the crew hostage, and ended up keeping the boat. It was called the USS Pueblo. They released the crew finally. That vessel is still a sore spot with a lot of people, including me. Why? Because it remains tied up at a dock in North Korea and serves as a tourist attraction, with the North Korean government spitting in our eyes and on our faces every day, telling one and all that they brought the United States government to its knees.
Wow.
For me, here's what I would love to see in North Korea: a team slip in, cut part of the lines loose from the ship, allowing it to move across the river, and then set charges off that would send it to the bottom, blocking that harbor. Hopefully, the river traffic along that area would just come to a halt. That would be fun. I think it would just be fun. And just have time charges to go off every now and then while that boat's on the bottom. Just go boom. Just to let them know we're still there. They wouldn't want to send divers down to check it, in other words. But back to Venezuela, we seized a big tanker registered in Venezuela, but it was not. Was it a Venezuelan tanker, or was it from an Iranian tanker?
It had a
What flag was it flying under?
Guyana,
I-
Guyana, something like that flag.
Ghana?
Let me.
Yeah,
Nick,
Guyana flag.
I am pretty sure by all news reports it was a Venezuelan
I think it
oil
was.
tanker.
I think it was. I don't know what flag it was flying under, because
Right.
there are a lot of places fly
Yeah, I
under
saw
Liberian
it.
flag because they have no rules.
Yeah.
No.
Guyana,
Ghana.
Ghana, Guyana,
Ghana.
Ghana. That's the flag it was flying. Because I watched it. I tracked it last night. Marine traffic.
We seized that tanker,
Mhm.
and the president of that little country Bandura, he threw a hissy fit. He's all uptight with Donald Trump. Our president isn't letting the cat out of the
Chris
bag
Miller.
yet, not just yet. He's promising that this is going to be a major story before it's all over. I see that. We're going to talk to our friend, partner in crime. And I'm having withdrawals already, and we still got 44 days before football
But we have
season.
basketball and some other things that we could,
It's Miller time. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, my friends. Yeah, Rayford, we can definitely tell you're going through some withdrawal.
I am. I really am. I have nothing to do on Friday nights. I mean, how many weeks in a row did we go with the exception of missing 1 or 2 nights that the Cardinals were not playing from August until
into every game.
14 games, right?
Well, before that too, last year.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in a row this year,
Oh,
this
yes.
season. We went to 14. We went to every game.
They played 13 games, so yeah, you went to 13 games. So yeah, I mean, but they had a couple of weeks off, so I guess the season for them lasted 15 weeks. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure out something you can do on a Friday night. You go do some wrestling matches. How about that?
Well, I thought about that because my dad, I went to a wrestling match, one of those sponsored entertainment shows one time here that was to benefit a fire department. But I went to see that, and it was funny. And then I watched a couple of those things on TV when I was a little kid, young and dumb. And then my dad was telling me that in the Navy, and when he was, I forgot where he was in the South Pacific, and I forgot which place he was. He was in several places there. But at the camp where he was, at the base where he was, they had a couple of real honest to goodness wrestlers from the civilian world, and they would put on matches there, but these are not wrestlers. These were wrestlers. He said they'd get into a hold, and they may stay in a hold for like 20 minutes or something. Nobody moved because they couldn't.
Yeah.
He said that's what wrestling is all about.
Yeah. Greco-Roman wrestling.
I do want to say, Chris,
Lee,
go ahead.
Lee, you love you some wrestling, don't you?
Yes, I do. I was just showing Chris a picture of my favorite wrestler.
Oh, God.
Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
You just want
Look at that.
You just want to tangle
Look
with
at
him,
that, Rayford. Isn't that pretty? Whew.
Pretty ugly, pretty apt to stay that way.
Anyway, I was quite impressed to see that we have a lot of female wrestlers now on our high
Well, that
school
might be
team.
a difference.
Well, they're wrestling.
Yeah, female high school wrestling is a sanctioned sport now. It's been sanctioned for the last couple of years, and
Cool.
we have young ladies. It just was fair. I mean, you had young ladies that wanted to wrestle, and they were wrestling guys, and and we all know that can be an unfair advantage. So the sport got sanctioned, and enough wrestlers came out and tried out for the different schools, and now they have their own team. And I've done a couple stories in the past, in recent years, about that, and it's really cool to see the young ladies get their opportunity, have the playing field level, and have them be able to compete against each other and win state titles and win championships, gold medals, on the level playing field. So good for them, and
Okay. Now,
high school
question.
wrestling boys and girls and basketball boys and girls is really heating up right now.
Let's go back to that wrestling thing. Do girls get penalized for pulling hair?
Is that like face
Well,
masking?
Well, and I think they're taught to that that's not part of the sport. So I'm sure
Yeah, I understand
if they
that.
did that intentionally, then there would be some sort of unsportsmanlike penalty or something like that.
It's like football, and there's a fumble, and all the players are down and trying to get the ball. There are so many punches thrown down there. But just to mention football real quick, Saturday night was disappointing, but the Cardinals have nothing to be ashamed of. But one thing I did notice is Chris has a fan club
No
Yes, he
kidding.
does.
down on the field.
They gather around him.
Yeah, somebody said that Chris was in the audience, and the WITN guy is pointing at him like he's his number one fan.
Oh yeah, well we saw that bow you took.
Yeah.
That Jacksonville PA guy has the tendency of trying to say my name out there for the whole world to hear, and nobody boos, so that's good. And you notice that whenever the Jacksonville PA guy says, "And now live on local, Raper Brown," everybody stands up and applauds, and we have to stop the game for 20 minutes. And then when they say, "Okay," and now Chris Miller from the Daily News is here, yay!
Yeah, well, they know who you are. And,
I saw you kind of wave like when your name was announced. I said, "Look at that! Look at that!"
Yeah, I'm waving the Chris Marks, and it's not with the hand.
I will say the story that you did on the brotherhood exhibited by the Jacksonville football players was an outstanding story.
It's a great story.
And we talked about it Monday about the respect that the players show each other. Like you said, the brotherhood. I was so impressed with those young men throughout the whole season of the way they acted. And it was just, I think this whole season has brought so many people together.
Brought a lot of fans together.
Oh, yes. We have our fan club.
And Rayford, you know this as well as anybody, that you hate to, you're not going to go up to a kid who just played his last high school game and, how does it feel to just lost? I mean,
no. You do things like that.
What? And I hate it when people do that. But, again, this, it is your job and you hate to do it, but, you find a kid or two that you think can handle it in a mature way and can handle it. And you just ask them, "Hey, man, what do you remember about this team and what made this team so special?" Because you are trying to capture the emotion. I mean, people who are there at the game, they know who scored the touchdown, but they may not understand the emotional side, and that's what I try to capture is the emotional side. So that's what humanize it, and that's what and credit those kids. They said the right things. They could have easily shown their rear end, but they didn't. They matured and. Like one of the young men said, one of the seniors said was, we are a brotherhood, and your brotherhood is tested during the lows, and and this is where you come together more during the bad things. So, and this is kind of a low right now, so we have to stick together.
Well, the worst they've been beaten was by one team, 10 points. They were 10 points down. 10 points down for the whole season. 13 games, was it? 13 games. They lost by 10 points total. How many points were scored against them total as opposed to the total number of points that Cardinals scored? Have you added that up yet?
Well, I haven't had totaled up the numbers, but it was they had a great season.
Yeah. When you do
12 wins, 1 loss. And, I think you take away a couple plays here and there, and then we're talking about them playing on Friday in the state finals. So, but high school sports, I think especially football. I mean, you're going to have people right there that that hate football just because everybody else likes it.
Yeah,
we know a few.
But I think high school football, in particular, is one of those sports that teaches these young men and even ladies sometimes how to be. How to be young men and how to be young ladies, and and how to work together. And I think football is one of the sports where your teammates are as close as anybody. So I mean, they're literally your brothers. It's a brotherhood. So there's a lot of life lessons that this sport teaches.
Well, I'm going to have to go see some basketball games for sure, and I really want to go see a wrestling match. And once the swim team gets here competing in Onslow County next year, I definitely want to go to that. And I've also, you've contracted with me for a grand total price of $0 to get some during training to get some underwater photos of that team, right?
Oh yeah, I think we can get you and Mike Hackett to work together. And
no, I'll do underwater. I'll go underwater.
Hey, we're Raper. Speaking of underwater, what was that magazine you were telling us about?
It's called Skin Diver Magazine. Look it up. That's the way it was back in the day. That was the name of the magazine. It was for scuba divers.
Skin Diver, because we were laughing when we thought you said Skin Tight Magazine, and then we thought you said Skinny Dip Magazine, and so we were a little confused. That so we just wanted to make sure you were reading the right magazines, because we all know you have those magazines just for the articles, right?
Well,
not the pictures.
Yeah. Welcome to Silver Sneakers Club.
The Single Swingers Club is over here on my immediate left.
Single swingers.
And then Skin
be
Diver.
swinging.
Yeah, well, let's see. We got a minute. Real funny. I had leased my townhouse in Wilmington to my good friend. He was a coworker, but he was my assignment manager. And he needed someplace in a hurry because he had lost his apartment. So I said, just go over here. I'm not using it right now. So I just let him move in. And I still had, I didn't have any guns in there. I had, things like that gone, but I still had my gun cabinet in there. And I one day I told him, I said, hey, Doug, can you bring in, there's some magazines on top of the gun cabinet. Would you bring those in? Some magazines. He looked and he looked and he looked and said, I can't find them. I said, what did you do with them? He said, I didn't do anything with them. There are no gun magazines. There are no magazines up there. There are no magazines up there. I said, these are magazines. They got bullets in them. Oh, those things? I didn't know that was a magazine. I said, yeah, what did you think? He said, I was thinking something else. You dirty-minded individual, you. So he had to go back and bring me a whole bunch of magazines, 30 and 40, a couple of 40-round magazines, too. Talk about high capacity. Yes, I did have them. Still do. With 5.56 ammo in them. So anyway, you got to be specific when you talk about magazines to some people, or single swingers to other people, or single sneakers. Do your single swingers wear sneakers?
Silver sneakers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but they don't wear skirts.
Now they lost their skirts.
Not when you're losing them.
Or in the middle of the street too, no less.
Middle of the street too.
Oh, I hope I get a call to do a Jacksonville basketball game. He's there.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to suffer now. You got a long memory too, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
About 250 days worth.
Chris remembers the north side games.
Oh yeah. So now that we know that we've got it all. Lee likes wrestling. Chris Marks likes single swinger with skirts, and Raper likes magazines.
Skin Diver magazines. They don't publish that anymore. All right,
I'm looking
Chris,
it up.
you take care, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I don't want to get you guys in trouble.
Oh, it's too late for that. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. Bye.
Take care, Chris.
Oh,
Love
Timmy.
Oh, yeah.
What's up? Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, hold on.
I see y'all taking
Yeah.
Lee's favorite subjects.
Yeah.
Wrestling and skinny dipping.
Well, you called me on the wrong telephone line, so we can barely hear you.
Call back on the other number.
I'm sorry.
You got me on my cell phone.
I'll call you back.
Okay.
I'll call you back.
Thank you.
All right, I have unleashed this. Yes, there was a magazine called Skin Diver,
I know
which
that.
was established in 1951 and published monthly until 2002. It covered the sport and lifestyle of scuba diving and was known for its advertising-driven content.
Yes.
Well, I never had a doubt.
Well, I'm sure you didn't. You
Oh, no,
you were just trying to create one. You didn't have one. You
Skin
just tried to
Diver.
create one. You're trying to get us away from single swingers, right? Who wears silver
Timmy
sneakers?
calling.
Hey, Timmy.
Help.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm still looking for that single swingers club. I love it. I love it.
Well, you're gonna have to
But,
get. You got to get some silver sneakers to find them.
That fits right in with today's skin diving and skinny dipping. When I was a young man, I was very overweight. I didn't skinny dip. We
You-
called it chunky dunky.
Yeah, that's what I
we
figured.
called it. Yeah, I love that. Duncan, baby. I mean, when we made a splash, we made a
Oh, yeah. You emptied the pond.
try to. I tell you what, when I jumped in there naked, the water bottle would leak. So, you know.
Well, there was no water
That's
left.
the thing I can tell you. Yeah, there wasn't no water left. Had to find some water. See, if you looked in Lee's eyes when I said that, you can tell she was dirty minded today. It's Friday Eve, so I know she's dirty. Today is Friday Eve, Dirty Minded Lee Day.
Dirty Minded Lee Day. Woo.
Dirty Minded Lee. That's every Friday Eve.
Sunglasses on.
I had to pick on you, sweetheart. You know I love you.
Yes, okay.
Right.
That twinkle in her eyes is Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's not Doug.
Just tears.
Still got it going.
Okay, Jim.
What else is happening? Where are you?
I'm on 421 headed to the Sampson County landfill to throw away some hazardous material.
Sampson County.
You're going to the landfill to throw away hazard. I think there is a law out there on the books about throwing hazardous material into a landfill unless they can decompose. Now, if you've got if you got some people that should not be with us anymore and you're disposing of them, they'll decompose. No problem.
It's the only landfill that we know of that will take old railroad ties.
Oh, railroad ties.
Oh.
Well, they don't have any. They don't have any of that creosote left in them. They're the old ones.
Well, no comment. But yeah, I mean they're rotted and all that stuff. But yeah, they got a special place for them. I mean, New Hanover won't take it.
Mhm.
Brunswick won't take any kind of hazardous material like that. And they charge for it pretty well.
Sure.
So, yeah.
How much do they charge you? How much you pay me to take about a dozen off your hands?
Well, I keep looking at them. If they were decent,
Well, that's what I'd like to have.
they wouldn't be going to the landfill. I'd
Huh.
Yeah,
We could build us a log cabin out of those things, couldn't we?
you just about could. But
Oh.
the good ones I used to have to carry back to Coppers in Florence, South Carolina, the good old ones. And they would recondition them, redo them in places like Lowe's, Ace Hardware, Home Depot. They would buy them and sell them to the public.
Are they, Timmy? Are they recyclable? Like you?
Well,
I mean, you know,
they couldn't burn them.
Okay, so it's not anything like aluminum or metal that you could take and get money for.
No.
No. I mean, there's a little metal tab on the side with a number. That's it. I mean, they snatch that off. But it's that's the only place we know we can take them.
All right.
I mean, you can't burn them. If we could burn them, we could carry them to Newman to the electric plant. And they burn wood chips to make steam.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I got you.
But no, can't burn these. So,
all right.
Been taking about a load a day. We're doing some work right here off River Road, so replacing tires. So yeah, been good. But no, I wanted to call and pick on Lee a little bit. Today's pick on Lee's day. So,
okay.
All right, let's do it then.
y'all got to be hey.
Well, she'll be. It's going to be warmer this weekend, so she might have that purple bikini out, right?
Don't think so.
I was see. You done broke my heart already.
Those
I was
days are
thinking that.
over.
Okay.
Come on now. I mean, a man my age, we just don't have imagination like we used to. So it works better if you just show it. All of that.
All right. Timmy, thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Tim.
Y'all be good.
Have a
Bye.
nice day.
We'll see y'all.
See
All
ya.
right, bye.
My. Before I continue back over there with the folks down there in Venezuela. Venezuela, so a little bit of weather. Northwesterly winds offshore today, 20 to 25 knots. Diminishing to 15 to 20 this afternoon. Gusts up to 30, seas 5 to 7 feet. Near shore, seas 4 to 6, subsiding to 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Sounds and rivers rough, diminishing to choppy in the afternoon. And tomorrow, westerly winds 10 to 15, seas 2 to 3, 6 seconds apart. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Saturday, northwesterly winds 10 to 15, becoming westerly 5 to 10 in the afternoon, seas 2 to 4. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon.
Today will be sunny with a high near 49, northwest wind 8 to 13 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Tonight, increasing clouds with a low around 29. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 55. Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 33. And Saturday, sunny with a high near 59. But go ahead and brace yourself because come Sunday afternoon, we have a cold front coming in. And Sunday night, the lows will dip down to about the mid-teens. And Monday, we'll not even get to 40.
Well,
Cold.
our buddies in the amateur radio club here, Steve, hang in there for a second. Randy this morning, bright and early. Well, it was early. It wasn't bright. It was not as bad. It was 40 degrees out there in Southwest this morning. 93% humidity, no wind, no rain. Joe down there where Steve is calling from in just a second, he had 46 degrees at that time. Very light wind, no rain. Lee out there in back swamp, not Lee, this Lee, the other Lee in the swamp Lee, 41 degrees, 80% humidity. And he had winds from the west-northwest at about 8 miles an hour. Dale over in River Bend, his temperature about 20 minutes after his wife called in was 2 degrees cooler. It was 39, 87% humidity, winds out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour, and no rain. Carol, his wife, had called in just about 2 or 3 minutes earlier, 5 degrees. So temperature dropped 2 degrees. It does that as you're approaching sunrise, and I saw that in the forecast as well. 85% humidity then, and the winds were coming from the west. They'd switched around to the northeast by the time Dale got to the weather machine. So it's light and variable, basically. Ward in Cedar Point had 45 degrees this morning, bright and early, 72% humidity, winds out of the west. And Ken in Oslo Bay, which is off of Rocky Run Road down here, 41 degrees, 69% humidity. And Lady Blue, over in the woodlands of Northwoods, had 40 degrees, 84% humidity, winds out of the west-northwest at 2, and no rain. And here at the studio at that time, 5:30 this morning, it was 38 degrees, 87% humidity, and the winds were from the southwest at 4 miles an hour, and no rain. And right now it's 36 degrees, humidity about the same, 88%, and still nothing in the rain gauge. The winds have died down. They're running from the west southwest. And we have on the phone, straight from Greece, we have our friend Steve. Hey, Steve.
Greece.
Hey guys, how y'all doing this morning?
I'm fine.
Hey,
I
Steve.
got a pretty good long distance connection this morning.
Greece.
I hear you. I hear you. No, I've never found my way across the big pond before. Never ventured that far from home.
I understand. We just figured maybe Theo was in Greece and you went along with him, but I guess I haven't heard from Theo, so I hope he's doing okay.
I never crossed. Yeah, I was going to call him this morning. I ain't heard from him since last week.
Oh,
But I was going to say I was 18 years old before I crossed the state line.
Uh-oh.
you know,
I led a sheltered life.
you say that, and back in the TV days, we used to have to give tours. We didn't have to, but the department heads were chosen to give tours, direct tours around the station, especially in the spring when school students from all over the district would take field trips. And one of the field trips every year for a bunch of different schools was the TV station. And I'll never forget the one group of high school seniors on a tour. And I just asked them questions out in the studio. I said, where are you guys from? Well, we're from Columbus County. Okay, Columbus County, not too far from here, from Wilmington. Yeah, not far. You come to Wilmington often. Some of them said, well, this is their first trip. And two of them were born in Columbus County. Now, that's in the Whiteville area, right?
Yeah.
It goes further inland. But they had never seen the Atlantic Ocean.
Mhm.
17, 18 years of age. They had never seen the Atlantic Ocean. Now, today, kids are traveling all over the world during spring breaks.
Yep.
These kids were from Columbus County and had never seen the ocean.
We were a different generation.
Scary.
Well,
Scary.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Hey guys, I called this morning because I wanted. I guess I I don't want to pick on Dr. Greg Murphy. He made no different than any other politician to me. I typically leave with more questions than I do answers. But one thing he said this morning that stuck out to me, and like I say, I ain't picking on him specifically because I've heard it from a lot of different people, is out of control Democrat spending.
Excuse me.
And I know y'all have heard that quite a bit probably over the last election cycle. What puzzles me is they did spend a lot of money. There ain't no doubt about that. But the Republicans have had control of the House in January will be 3 years. And what they've done in that 3 years is pass 19 continuing resolutions, which has continued the spending levels set forth in 2022 by the Democrats. Do you see why I'm puzzled?
And
In 3 years, they have not set forth a budget to address this situation that they keep complaining about and using as.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I don't disagree with you because it's like I said after Trump was elected in 2016 and took office in 2017, he had complete control of it. He basically had complete control of houses. But the only thing he could start on was his signature platform because he was an inexperienced individual in the world of politics, is what I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for if I'm going to give it to anybody, because he didn't know what he was doing, to be honest with you. Literally, how did he know how politics worked? Did he know how to play the game? And politics is a game. We understand that. I don't like it. I hate it. Lee brings it up all the time. Well, that's just politics. Yes, it is. Well, no, I still don't like it. To be honest with you. But in the case of trying to get a budget passed, even if you have the majority, you have to have 60% in a lot of cases, and there is no such 60% majority on either side, on the Republicans or the Democrats, right? So nobody's getting anything done. So they get nothing done. They're passing temporary, let's continue doing and operating on the same budget so the government doesn't shut down again. And that's something that should not be done. And let's just go back to a simple majority. What would be wrong with a simple majority?
In theory, nothing.
Yeah, what would be wrong with having a simple majority here?
There is some, and I don't disagree with that, but there is some extenuating situations there. They passed a big, beautiful bill under reconciliation. They only got 51 votes. And so there is some shady ways of doing things, is what I would call it. I don't know that everybody would, have that opinion of it. But if you need 60 votes, you need 60 votes. How did we pass that massive spending bill with 51?
That wasn't the budget. That was a spending bill. That's legal.
That's what a budget is. It was a reconciliation bill, which is supposed to be where you reduce spending. But I don't.
Good luck on that one.
Educated in that enough to understand how they were able to increase the debt $5 trillion in a reconciliation, which is supposed to lower spending.
You would think.
But that's the reason why. That's the reason why I say I feel like sometimes these politicians on both sides are trying to pull the wool over my eyes, because they talk about out of control spending, but they're still using that same budget 3 years in. And I also heard him say this morning that the Democrats are responsible for Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. They got it passed, but the reason it's still there is because of one man, and that was Senator John McCain. And it was a Republican that saved it from being repealed. So now it's the Republicans' Affordable Care Act. By my standard. But, it's all in how you look at it, I guess. But it seems, I always feel like they're trying to manipulate reality from what I know it to be into something where they can sell me on something. And that's like I say, I've seen car salesmen do the same tactic. I've seen all kinds of people try to sell me on something, do the same thing.
It's politics.
Yeah, but Steve, when
I get it.
I'm sorry, Steve. When Congressman Murphy was on and he spoke about thanking him obviously for his service, which we all should do, but that his thumbs down was directed at President Trump. He didn't like President Trump.
That's an opinion. I think John McCain was a bigger man than that.
No. He made a point, but Donald Trump was also not a bigger man than that when he said, it's no hero gets caught. You don't have to spend prison in a prison camp to be called a hero. That means you messed up somewhere. That's what Donald Trump said.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Right. And I don't believe John McCain was the type of man. I believe his character was stronger than to be manipulated by that. I think he had other reasons for what he done that may have played a part in it, but I just don't believe John McCain was that. I don't know the word to use for it.
You're trying to say petty, but I think that played a very significant part in what he did. He was going to vote against Donald Trump for anything.
I would go back and look at his voting record. He didn't vote against him every time.
But there were some things that were obvious.
I get that may have been a contributing factor. I would not deny that he didn't like the man, but I don't think he would have used that as the sole motivation on how he voted on such a big bill.
Well, I don't know.
He's dead. I can't ask him. Right, that's just my opinion. I'm gauging off the character of the man. He went through a lot of suffering for this country. I don't think that Donald Trump's mean comments were going to exceed what the Vietnamese did to him at the Hanoi Hilton, and he didn't break. Mm-hmm. So can you see why I say I don't think his character would allow him?
I understand why you're saying that.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, that's just what I see, man, is that both sides are trying to sell us on something, but that out of control Democrat spending, if it's out of control, then why ain't they trying to do something about it? Mm-hmm. If there's fraud in the Affordable Care Act, why aren't they addressing that instead of just trying to shut it down? What they say and what is actually happening don't seem to be in conjunction with each other.
Okay.
So, that makes me question. I ain't saying I'm right and they're wrong. I'm saying that the math don't add up, and they're not explaining why. It's just like with Venezuela. Why? Nobody's come. I mean, they may have a good reason, but nobody's really come forth and laid out, an explanation like they normally would do.
You mean the Venezuela? You're talking about the seizing of the ship?
Mm-hmm.
The whole situation. The whole situation.
Well, I understand why Venezuela is the problem that it is. I mean, why we consider it a problem, because look at what they've been doing. My God.
I understand that, but there's, I would argue that our biggest drug problem in America right now is fentanyl, and that's not the path it comes through.
No.
And we're not attacking that path. We're over there in Venezuela attacking a small route. The land route is the major route. That's been known for years.
Billions of dollars worth of cocaine in the last 6 months have been blown up. That's not a small issue. Cocaine, in case you don't know it, you should know how bad it is. It is not just a minor situation, a recreational drug. It is a major problem. Not as killer drug as fentanyl. But we cannot just let it come through too. There's an attack. We are being attacked on both coasts and on the southern border.
I get it, but then where's the logic in pardoning the leader of Honduras, who was the biggest trafficker of cocaine to the United States, and we have essentially put him back in business?
I won't
we
pardon
shut down the Venezuelan pipeline and put the leader of the Argentinian pipeline back in place.
Honduras or Argentina?
How does that make sense? I mean, president that he just...
You said Honduras on one thing and Argentina on another.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I did. I misspoke.
Okay.
But the president that he recently pardoned that was convicted of drug trafficking.
Yeah, I don't pardon anybody. If you've been convicted by...
I get that, but I'm not saying that was wrong necessarily, but how does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense. However, it doesn't make sense to let this Maduro guy run rampant over both the citizens of Venezuela and also over us.
Right. But once again, I hear what they're telling me, how they're trying to sell this to me, but then again, they turn around and put one of the biggest cocaine traffickers back on the street. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little skeptical over them being sincere, and that's their motivation for going after Venezuela.
All right.
I mean, you know, call me stupid, but how do those two things jive with each other? They don't.
I don't know a whole lot about some things, but I've been in Venezuela.
Right. And I have no doubt that there's an issue there.
It's been for decades.
There's a lot of issues in a lot of countries.
I think, Steve,
Anyway,
part of it is at least all I've seen so far is the video footage of the Navy personnel rappelling out of the helicopters. So I don't know. We know the whole story other than it was a tanker with Iranian and oil on it, or it's headed to Venezuela. I don't think we know everything yet. Other than
and that's quite possible.
We do not know everything, and I don't know why Venezuela would need Iranian oil. Venezuela has oil.
Well, and right, that's weird, and
but we're also getting interpretations of what's being reported from individuals who have zero knowledge of what they're talking about.
Yeah, and I would agree with that as well. And that's why I say the odd part is normally an administration, Democrat or Republican, at this point would have come out and tried to sell us.
Not yet.
Tried to sell this in some way.
Not yet.
Ain't seen nothing. We got the biggest aircraft carrier that is parked around Venezuela right now. For the first time in over 20 years, we do not have an aircraft carrier group in the Gulf. So why? And nobody's saying why. And that part, always, I don't care if they're right or left. If it don't add up, I start saying why. Why? Who, what, when, where, why now?
I don't know. I don't know enough about military politics or military strategy at all. I am not strategically wise as far as the military is concerned at high levels. So I don't know. I don't have a clue.
And I get that. I'm just saying I think we all should be asking more questions and not taking their word for so much. I feel like that we're kind of getting over our skis and giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
Solely mine.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You too.
Have a blessed day, Steve.
I was reading right here where it says the seizure was part of a broader strategy
It is.
by the United States to pressure
Venezuela.
Thank you. For some reason, I can't say that word.
The V word.
The V word, government, to remove President Nicolas Maduro. The operation involved a significant military presence in the region and was executed by the Coast Guard, supported by Navy forces. The seizure was rare as it involved a fast rope boarding from helicopters at sea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I still have questions.
I'm waiting to see the inventory.
I'm waiting.
Just wait
for
the inventory.
Our Secretary of War to come out with a presser on it so I can further understand.
Trump says he's not going to let the cat out of the bag yet. He's already made that perfectly clear.
Right.
And this is good for a change that he's keeping his mouth shut. Thank you very much for doing that. Loose lips will sink ships, literally. And
no pun intended, huh?
Yeah, there is pun intended, but it happens. Back to World War II. There we go. He is promising that this is going to become a major story. I have zero doubt about it. There's a lot at work here, a lot of stuff that's going on, and it's not just involving the Coast Guard and the Navy. The Navy's they've got the armament, the big guns, and all that sort of good stuff to do things like that. The Coast Guard's, they got the law enforcement capacity to handle it, but it's way more than that. It's a lot. They're not the only agencies involved in this either.
Well,
You can bet your bottom dollar on that one.
I think one is President Trump wants to get rid of Maduro
Right.
because
We all do.
he allegedly has ties to the Sun cartel.
He does.
They're exporting not only cocaine but fentanyl and human rights, and that's what everybody
They keep
is
forgetting about that,
talking
don't they?
Yeah.
This is really cool, though. They said the mission was launched from the USS Gerald R. Ford
That's the carrier.
and an aircraft carrier that has been in the area for weeks as part of the broader buildup of the U.S. forces in the region. It involved 2 helicopters, Special Operation Forces, 10 members of the U.S. Coast
SEAL.
Guard, and 10 Marines. The sources said the boarding team was composed of the Coast Guard's Maritime Security and Response Team, which is an elite maritime interdiction unit base in Chesapeake, Virginia. That's pretty cool.
Over the past 2 or 3, 4 months now, I forgot when it started, but we have the Coast Guard and the Navy together have identified and eliminated 22 these little drug boats, 3 and 4 outboard motors on them, running 50 and 60 miles per hour across that open water with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people on board, loaded with cocaine. They're specially built. And these boats will zip right along. Trying to catch them, for some people, is a difficult process. Not for the Navy and the Coast Guard. We also have fast boats. But you know what's faster? Them are helicopters. And what's faster than that is when they pop off a boom, zzz, boom, done. When they do not heave to, say hey to Davy. Sir Davy Jones. If you do not, the word that I would have, the suggestion for any drug cartel people, any of these people are low ranking, the people that we're blowing up.
Yep, it's Theo.
They are very low rank. They are boat captains or boat operators. They're not captains. They're boat operators. They're drug smugglers. And they are just human guinea pigs for the cartel. They know nothing. They've got no intelligence to provide. They probably don't even know where to. They just order, get aboard the boat, take it up there. Here's your destination. And sometimes they will run. They started running like a dozen boats at a time and scattering once they got to certain locations, and try to make it a little difficult. Some decoy boats and whatever. It's okay. They all go boom. If they don't heave to, they're going to get caught.
It wasn't too long. It wasn't too long ago that boats would drop off way offshore, off of Topsail Island.
Yeah,
and drop the
bales.
The bales there,
picked up.
and the money would be picked up off a buoy or somewhere. So it's not like it's something new.
This is nothing new. Those bales float, and from a Coast Guard chopper over the Bahamas, I was on one of those flights, and you should have seen. I got some video somewhere of where they were pulling the bales in. They're pulling bale after bale after bale after bale in. And unfortunately, one of the idiots decided he would go grab a bale, one of the small boats in the little bay there. Yeah. He grabbed a bale and he took off. I'm sorry. And then he got really stupid when the chopper hovered right down at him, and then he started shooting. C'est la vie. Theo, are you in Greece?
Deplorables.
Good morning, my long-lost
Never
friend.
going to change. You're always going to stay deplorables. Anyway, the legalized brutality is over for the year.
No, we're still in business right here. Come on down.
No more kids that get hurt.
Still more football. National.
Thank you very much.
We got we got basketball, and they wear no protections. It's that sneakers, shorts, and a t-shirt.
Hey, Rayford.
Hey.
Here's something, let me tell you.
I hope so.
The Coast Guard wants to go after fast boats, Rayford. You know this, but I don't get you guys. Chris, you know this too.
What's that?
And Lee, you probably know this too. When the Coast Guard goes after fast boats, they take a helicopter with a sharpshooter. They go and shoot the motors. The boat stops. They surround it. They don't kill anybody. They bring them up on charges. They came in. They tell us exactly what's going on. That's how America works. Not what we're doing right now. Okay? That's how they do it. A helicopter goes out with a sharpshooter, shoots down the motors. There's boats. They go and surround it. They got the evidence.
and due process, and then they find out who the cartel, the big fish here. So what do you think, Chris? Is this the right way to do it?
Honestly, Theo, I can't honestly
Killing
say.
people?
No, I
Killing
can't.
people?
I don't want any. I want people to live in peace. I want a world free of drugs. I want a world free.
Listen,
And you want to be Miss America,
they're
too.
inhaling these drugs in here. Are you going to stop these inhaling? Is that your problem? That these people wake up every morning, they want to go and have cocaine and heroin and all that? How are you going to stop it? It's been going for years now. 60% of the drugs coming in here are inhaled in the United States. 60% of the drugs come in here. It's a big business. How are you going to stop it? Tell me. How are you going to... By killing people and putting out little boats that are going over there? How much do you think they're carrying there?
Some of them are carrying. Have you seen those boats, how laden they are?
No, do you have any proof? Have they showed you any proof of how much cocaine they got?
Absolutely. Have you not seen the Coast Guard ships that come into
Did they show
Port Everglades?
anything, any proof from these boats what they have?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? You saw it? Because I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I've seen it.
In secret.
I've seen a lot of the ships come in. The Coast Guard vessels have been coming in for decades, and they're bringing in tons and tons of.
Nice try.
No, it's not a nice try. It's a fact, Jack. Where have you been? Have you been aboard those boats? Hey, Jack, Theo, have you been aboard any of those boats?
No, I haven't.
I have.
I have. You want to prove to me that you're doing good. Show me what you're doing. Show it to me. We're all Americans. We want to see what's going on. Okay?
They're going to show it.
Would you like to describe what's on some of those pictures right there? Do you see that right there?
Yeah.
Do you see right that's on the back of that boat right there, huh? Do you see that? Those are 50 to 55 pound bales of pot in this particular case. 16 tons of it on that one vessel. I've got pictures I'm showing him that I took, Theo. So yes, I knew what's out there.
Okay. Let him show the rest of
Too bad you
the
don't.
people what's going on. Okay? Where's the video on the second strike?
You probably wouldn't believe, you probably still don't believe that we landed on the moon, do you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Theo.
Really?
The second.
Really?
No.
Oh my
Now, let
gosh.
me tell you something. The fentanyl is coming through Arizona. And one of the people from Arizona said all the people that were checking on the fentanyl coming in, all right, because that was the big killer right there, they took all the resources and they sent it to Washington, D.C. to monitor what they're doing with ICE over there. And all the fentanyl is pouring through Arizona right now. All the resources were taken to Washington, D.C. You got any pictures of that?
Who told you this? Where did you hear this?
Well, who told you me?
Yeah.
A person in Arizona.
A person. What kind of a person? A drug dealer or what?
Come on. Okay, you're not news. Okay, a person that works in Arizona. Where the fentanyl is coming through.
So
right
work at
now.
McDonald's or where?
Nobody's watching it. Nobody's watching because all the resources were taken out of there.
Does he work at McDonald's? You said he works in Arizona. McDonald's, Burger King, or where?
Well, Theo, when you're saying that they're taken out of Arizona, is that the request of the governor that he wants ICE agents out of Arizona?
No, the people that were checking in the checking points, okay, the FBI and all the other people that were in Arizona fentanyl were taken out of there so they can use them for ICE in Washington, D.C. You'll hear it. Don't worry about it. You'll hear it.
Okay, we'll hear it. Yeah.
And Epstein tapes.
I'll stop at McDonald's today and
Forget
find
about
out.
that. Nothing yet?
I'm sorry, what was that, Theo?
Anything on the Epstein tapes?
He's dead.
Oh my.
Oh, he's dead. Yes, he's dead. Yeah. That's where you going with that?
His pimp wants to get out of prison so she can tell all and write a book.
Yeah. Okay. How you guys doing with the redistricting?
It sucks.
Oh, it sucks, huh?
I don't have any problem with it.
All right, that's cheating, Lee. You're cheating again to get votes. All right, you're targeting the black vote again. And you're supposed to do it every 10 years, but because Donald Trump told you to go do it now, you're doing it now. All right? You're cheating again. That's the
Okay,
only way
Theo.
you win votes, by cheating.
Okay.
Yeah. Redistricting. Okay? And that guy over there, that Supreme Court, that Clarence Thomas, who's a black guy, and he knows that they're targeting people, he's going okay in this kind of stuff. The guy that gets all these presents from these white guys, you know what I mean?
Jesus.
Uh,
Where do you get this stuff, Theo?
Yeah,
I have no
stuff.
clue.
Whatever you're having,
Thomas was getting gifts from all these guys. You don't know that?
whatever you're having before you go to sleep at night, you might want to change your diet because you got some weird dreams happening.
Okay, you go check it out. What Clarence Thomas, what he's got, the gifts that he's got.
Okay, we'll do that.
Where he got them from, and then you can report on it if you want. But I know
Okay.
you won't.
Go
I will.
have a Pepsi, Theo.
no, I will.
Thank you.
I will, Theo.
All right. Well, you wanted to hear from me.
You
I
need
do
some
want to hear
sugar.
from you. I love hearing from you.
You need some
Okay,
sugar.
there you
Go
are.
drink a
Yes,
Pepsi.
but
I'll
you
straighten
doing?
you out a little bit because you guys are in cloud nine. You think I'm in another planet, but they far away from me.
Okay.
Have a blessed day, my
you.
friend.
I'm glad you're not in Greece.
Have a blessed day.
This is Mike.
Yes, my head hurts.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Muddy.
Good. How y'all doing?
Good. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, for Donald Trump's next trick, he's going to make Theo support drug runners.
Oh.
So,
Maybe he could be the bowels.
Well, I want to respond to a couple of things he said. The redistricting. Does he have a problem when they do it up north where he's from and conservatives aren't represented? Doesn't seem to bother them up there when they do it.
No, to keep Republicans from being elected. Yeah, that's pretty much the case. Yes, as in New York,
Yeah,
as in New Jersey.
yeah, Massachusetts, New York, all over up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's hilarious that they have an issue with them shooting these drug boats. You know, how many Americans got to die? How many young kids got to die from fentanyl laced dope?
Well, let me give you some stats here. More than 100,000 Americans die every year from drug overdoses. The vast majority of that these days is fentanyl laced,
Right.
Yeah.
one sort or another. So far, we've killed 86 drug cartel members in these fast drug boats that they're running. 86. Now we've caught a lot more than that. We've blown up 22 of the boats, but those are the boats that just would not heave to. What do you do then? Let them go? No, you disable them. You can disable some outboard motors, but you cannot necessarily disable an inboard or an inboard motor on some of these vessels. An inboard motor with a guy with a 308 sitting in a helicopter.
Well, if they take the drug runners into custody, everybody knows as soon as they're released, they're going to be right back doing it again.
Yeah, we don't keep them. We don't send them to prison here in this country. We don't want them.
No.
You
Well,
keep them here. You got to feed them.
Mike, I deal with facts and logic. So I'm gonna try it this way. If you are leaving Venezuela with a boatload of drugs, that's a fact. We'll say it's a fact that they're leaving with a boatload of drugs. And logically, you know that if you do that, the United States government is going to destroy that boat that you're on. Then factually and logically, you shouldn't do it and don't bring the drugs into the United States. You won't get blown up. You'll get to live.
I think I'd err on the side of caution and never not leave port.
There you go.
Go get a load of bananas and bring the bananas instead of the dope.
Bananas.
I mean, if any time that, even in the United States, if you're dealing drugs, they're trying to get to the top person. They're going to take out the middleman because the middleman is the one supplying the low man who's supplying it to the people who are going to die from it. And
Well,
So-
we all know that Trump can't do any right, so.
You can't. The whole thing with the drug deal is these guys on these boats, these 86 people that have gone to meet Davy Jones, they don't know anything.
No.
It's the same thing as with 98% of the terrorists that we caught and sent to Gitmo. They know nothing. They serve no purpose. Capturing them served no purpose. We had to feed them. Okay? There was
I've heard
98% of them were useless as far as intel gathering. I don't know the exact percentage, but it's way up there.
I've heard people say that they can't be labeled as terrorists, narco terrorists, that he's labeled as terrorists because they're not doing anything politically active. But I disagree because they are very politically active. They're all up in their home country's government. It's ate up with drug cartel members, and so they are political terrorists. I mean, that's how they
get elected.
That's what they do. Yeah, exactly. So I say good riddance, and like Chris said, if you're stupid enough to take the risk, and I guess you're stupid enough to get blown up.
Yeah. And the vast majority of them, if you will look at the Coast Guard news releases, which are public, and they have video that they put on their website all the time, go to the U.S. Coast Guard website and look under drug interdiction, and you will find ships coming in, Coast Guard ships coming into the port in Miami area, and they're bringing in load after load after load of dope. Check the ships, the boats that are seizing vessels. You can go to YouTube. They got some great videos there of the vessels that they're seizing inside the U.S. borders, coming ashore here. The small boats catch those folks, the ones that sneak through. We're trying now, with the Navy's help, the Coast Guard is working to diligently stop them from getting to the U.S. shores. We know that if you get as close to the U.S. shores as these people have gotten all these years, we've seized. This boat here came ashore. The one that I just showed you, 16 tons of marijuana on board. It was not the only one that came ashore. The problem is it was one that they caught. How many did they miss? A lot. They missed a lot more than they ever caught. Now we're just blowing them up when they don't stop. Blow them out of the water.
People need to realize the president's job, one of them, is to protect our sovereign borders.
That's it.
And there's a phrase that's been going on since I was knee-high to a jackrabbit. Drugs kill. Simple as that.
Maybe those runners ought to take a note from the boys over in Sneed's Ferry back when they were running them on shrimp boats.
There you go, Mike. There you go, partner.
They did.
That's a fishing boat.
That's right.
So anyway, you guys have a good day.
Have a blessed day, Mike.
Thank you.
The pictures here that just showed you, that's a fishing boat.
Yeah, no, I saw the nets.
Yeah.
In it.
Quite often you don't see nets on them. In the wintertime, when some of the biggest hauls that started here, the idiot down there in Panama, God, I'll think of his name because I went down there in 1989 when we finally took him down, caught him. But he was that operation that ended up with him being arrested started in Morehead City with a Coast Guard little boat doing patrols. They got suspicious of this fishing boat that came in through the inlet without fishing nets. They turned around and tracked it down to the Morehead port. They found it. It was abandoned. They found dope on board, and then the investigation began. And it lasted. If y'all want to read a book, it's written by a non-author. It's written by a retired federal judge who was a U.S. attorney at the time. God, what was his name? The name of the book is SEA of Greed. Sea of Greed, and I've had him on the show one time, and I used to know him when he's a retired judge.
Sea of Greed?
Sea of Greed. Get that book. It's a great book if you know history around here. But that whole operation started right there in Morehead City. The downfall of, what is his name? The idiot down in Panama. Panama dictator. Anyway, he stayed holed up, and we Noriega. We sent troops down there to capture him. We sent troops, military, to capture him. There were a number of people because they were fearful he was going to make it to the airport to get out on one of the planes that he had available to him that was supplied by drug dealers and others. But there were people there at the airport to make sure he was not going to leave the country. And there were no capture orders.
You do what you have to do to
He
protect
surrendered.
your sovereign nation and to protect your citizens. If the citizens can't protect themselves by not being smart enough to not buy the drugs.
For these 22 boats that went boom, boom, and those 86 people aboard those 22 boats that went boom, boom, which, okay, cost of doing business for them. They paid the ultimate price. That was their choice.
Yeah.
They could have surrendered.
Okay,
If you're going to run drugs, you better carry a flag, a white flag, and you better be putting it up when you see the man coming.
In response to Theo, I've got something to say.
I'll bet you.
Okay, the most popular sport in Greece is football, soccer,
That's soccer.
followed closely by basketball, reflecting the country's rich sporting culture and history.
How many injuries
Football.
in soccer?
Soccer. It's a national passion. It's the most popular sport in Greece, deeply embedded in its culture. So they what I'm getting at is they have sports in Greece. We have sports in America. And Rayford, we've been to every single game for how long now? For almost 2 years. We've seen some injuries, but they've been minor things.
They walk off the field.
They
generally,
walk off the
and
field.
come back in the second half.
And they come back in the second half. We've not seen any concussions. We've not seen any brain damage. And I'm telling you right now, go to a basketball game next week and watch somebody twist their ankle or somebody elbow somebody in the eye and get a big black eye.
or slide across that floor.
That's
That
right.
was a
That's
murder.
right.
Oh, yeah.
I do not, and you know, right now we're focused now that we're done with high school football. Like Chris and I, we still with AFC, NFL, and you see a lot of injuries there, but most of them get up and walk away.
Now let's go back to that soccer thing in Greece. They call it football.
Yes,
We
they
call it
go to
soccer,
football,
right?
Right.
Okay,
right.
they call it soccer. How much protection do they have other than the goalie?
Mm-hmm.
Shin guards.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
You ever play soccer? did
My
it-
coach did, and I goofed off with it.
I did in Raleigh intramural, and I'm gonna tell you what. Holy moly! I got the crap kicked out of my ankles and my shins and my legs and everything else because you're kicking it.
You want a sport that's tough? Rugby.
Oh God, no, this guy, no. Next to ice hockey, right?
There you go.
Here we go. Injuries in Greek soccer, particularly among amateur players, are a significant concern. A study on injury patterns, according to player position in male amateur football in Greece, found that the muscular skeletal injuries were prevalent.
They break a lot of
I don't
bones.
think we're seeing that here. Did
No,
you see that when the Cardinals played?
No.
Okay, dokie, we got to go.
Just have to
Tomorrow's
pick
Friday, right? It will be.
Yes.
It will be the weekend.
Well, it'll be I won't be
Yes.
here. I'll be unloading a truck full of over 1,000 wreaths over at Arlington Memorial Cemetery.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
probably going to get injured.
I could.
Don't get a concussion.
I can lift up 40-pound boxes. There's only going to be 86 of them.
You got some help.
Yeah.
Do we need to go to Wilmington for anything yet?
No, we're
Okay,
good.
so you're good. So I don't need to go down there?
Not yet.
I don't know whether I can go lift
Just
any
real
40-pound
quick.
boxes or not.
I just
probably
want to
can.
put out a PSA about school buses and stopping for school buses. A woman posted yesterday that her son was getting ready to get off an elementary bus, stopped right there by S&H Gardens.
Mhm.
And the bus driver had opened the door for him to get off the bus, and a truck passed the bus on the right side
Oh, no.
between the bus door and the mailbox that was on the side of the road. He went off the right side of the road to pass a stopped school bus with a child getting ready to get off. And had that child
Does he
stepped off that
Have a
bus.
ticket to go with that.
Well, no, they're looking for anyone that has any information. And hopefully maybe the bus had a video dash cam.
Hope so.
But come on, You know, it's not
That
that
could have been, well, it could have been bad either way. If the bus did not pass,
passed on the
he could have hit the whole
right.
bus that was stopped
Yep.
full of kids.
Passed on the right.
If that kid had taken one step off the bus,
Yes.
done.
Yes. So please, you know, and you know, I've come up on buses every morning where I sit and wait. It doesn't take but a minute.
If you're in that big a hurry, then leave 10 minutes early.
That's right.
Duh.
Please
Okay.
be careful around school buses.
That
I know.
that one's a go to jail offense.
You know what? If I'd been anywhere around, I'd chase that
Oh,
man.
I would
down.
too. You wouldn't have to worry about
Mm.
identifying because I'd have him for you.
I have an oven.
Oh, 800 degrees. Ouch.
You're gonna cook him dinner, right? You're live and local. Real say yes.
Yes.
We're live and local real talk where we're awake most days and not awoke. Never woke. Never ever woke.
Right.
Trust me. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Yeah, I almost said
Tomorrow.
Monday. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Then Monday, Chris will be
Mhm.
out there. And if you're out there around the Onslow Park tomorrow morning, about what time you?
Onslow Memorial Park. I'll be out there at 8:00 waiting on
There's
the truck.
about 0800. A big
Bye-bye.
truck's coming in. He's got a bunch of crates, boxes of 40-pound boxes of wreaths. To
Yep.
unload. 86 of them. Did you say?
86 of them.
86 of them.
That's a lot of reads.
That's one for each of the. Nothing.
Yep.
Over 1,000.
We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye. Have a
Rest of it.
great day.